I think we have, though, better chances this year than we ever have. I say that probably every year, and I mean it every year. But TL is extremely strong. I think 100 Thieves has some fantastic players as well, and I think that our team right now is stronger than it ever has been.
Well, it is the end of Gauntlet. I'm joined right now by Jack from Cloud9, who has successfully navigated his team once more into Worlds with coverage presented by OmniSlash. Jack, what? Why are you always destined for the Gauntlet? What happens here?
Apparently, that's when we get our, our buff here in NA when we're in the Gauntlet. So this is now, I think, 4 times we have been the North American Regional Champions, which sounds way better than Gauntlet.
Yeah. Well, yes, let's go with that. That's fair. But it is pretty hype. Like, actually, Gauntlet is one of my favorite events throughout the year. It feels like a really fun series. Thankfully, you guys the final boss this time. But is it scary? Is it exciting? What is it like for you when you guys get into this?
Yeah, I agree. I think the Gauntlet is one of my favorite events, not just because we've been winning, but it's the best teams in North America fighting it out for one spot. It's like, win or go home. And the results of this game don't impact any other team besides the 2 teams that are in that match. So it's a fantastic event, and I'm really proud that we've been able to win it now 4 times in a row.
Well, now you guys are headed off. For a lot of people might not know this, but maybe you can explain what you do when you every year when you realize your team is headed towards the Gauntlet.
So you don't have very much time from when the gauntlet ends until the first day of plans. We've only got like something like a week and a half or so. In order to maximize that amount of time that we have, we want to get to wherever we're playing to get acclimated to the time and also get some scrims in so that we are properly prepared for Worlds. So generally, what that specifically means is I've already booked hotels, I've booked flights, I've gotten computers to be set up, and it's a bit of a gamble because we don't know if we're going to win the gauntlet. We have really tough competitors, so we're flying in just a few hours to 2 Worlds, and there was a lot of preparation that my staff put in to make that happen, as well as dollars.
And you, because everything's been booked already. Like I think after last weekend, I saw you in the hotel, and just like always, you book the plane flights a week out, even though you don't know if you're going to make it out.
Yeah, we've already had the flights booked, the hotel reservation set up because we're gonna get on the plane in a few hours here. When we land, we can't go. Oh, let's go find a hotel. Let's go get like computers. We had to have all this set up in anticipation of actually winning. And thankfully, so far, my team has always come through and made that happen. Because I can't imagine how depressing it would be to actually cancel those reservations and have wasted the time and effort on getting the boot camp set up.
Do you think that you guys are the third best team in North America? Because that's how you will be seeded into Worlds. And I'm very curious to hear your take on that.
Um, I don't really think of it like that. You know, TL was definitely the best team of the finals, but I don't necessarily think they're the best team of today. And each day and each meta changes that happen along the way change the balance of that. So I go into Worlds not really thinking of ourselves as the third best team. And at this point, we've got really good relationships with the teams that are like in Korea and that'll be participating in Worlds. So we're gonna get good scrims and we're gonna be shooting for semifinals or better at Worlds.
Do you think plans actually might help you guys a little bit? Because as much as it's nice to be able to avoid those are additional matches that you get to play that others don't before you get into group stage.
Yeah, it's a good question, and honestly, like when we were talking with the team after the match, we're like, we definitely feel that's a huge advantage for my team specifically because we've got 3 rookies flying out to Korea. This their first Worlds. They've only had very limited big stage experience last week, and if we get through the play-in stage, and I'm sure we will, but if we get through the play-in stage, we'll have spent a lot of time on stage, gotten those jitters out before the group stage happens, and for us, that's highly valuable. I would, if I had to choose one or the other, I would rather have a play-in stage to actually get that experience.
And you do get that experience. guys mention publicly what your lineup will be for Worlds? Because unfortunately, you guys have been running a 7-man roster, 6-man roster cap for Worlds. So, one, have you guys said publicly what that roster is going to be? And two, what is it like dealing with sort of that strange limitation going from 7 to 6 for Worlds?
So we will be taking all 7 players out to Worlds. I don't actually know when we have to report what our roster will be, so that might be something that needs to get figured out. But we'll be waiting to the last possible moment to sort that out and then make that announcement.
What is it like for you going from having to make that decision in the next couple of weeks, or Reaper, or the combination of you guys figuring that out? What is it like having to go from 7 to 6? That it must be a little weird.
Yeah, it's not fun. I hope that in the future that I think professional League of Legends has matured a lot since the beginning of Worlds, and we've definitely gotten to a point where we should be looking to increase the rosters. Teams like in Asia have had large rosters for a long time. It's somewhat new for the West, but I think that a lot of teams would appreciate being able to bring like their full roster and to be able to swap around as needed. So I do hope that in the future that we see larger rosters available at Worlds. And for us right now, it's really difficult because um, not only are the 7 guys that are going to be going out to Korea with us like a huge part of why we're even here, but the entire 10-man roster, including all the guys who are on Academy, they are a big part of why we are where we are now. It's really disappointing to have to actually say, okay, these are the 6 dudes we're going to use on stage. I think it hurts our flexibility, and one of those guys is just as deserving to be there, and he won't be.
What this is a question I ask every year. What are North America's chances at this League of Legends World Championship?
Um, so I'm really sad that TSM can't go because they're a fantastic team. Fox is a fantastic team, and I think they would do really well out there as well. Um, I think we have though better chances this year than we ever have. I say that probably every year, and I mean it every year. But TL is extremely strong. I think 100 Thieves has some fantastic players as well, and I think that our team right now is stronger than it ever has been.
I believe he was the former head of the German office, the EULCS office, a guy named Jason, who is no longer at Riot. He tweeted, yeah, Jason Ye. He tweeted as Team Liquid was playing last week. It's a pity that something to the effect of it's a pity that Team Liquid has to play in North America where there's no other big rival. They're so ahead of everybody else. If they were in Europe, they would at least be top 4. What do you think of sort of that take, especially coming from the guy that used to run things over there?
Oh, it is so easy to flame.
Yeah.
Well, there's 2 guys that used to run Riot LCS that are managers of teams, and they didn't even make playoffs. So I don't really know if you can really think about their ability to discern what makes a good team or not, if it's really valuable.
Okay.
So I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. We'll pass it off that way. Is there?
Jason, I love you. I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, as he was saying this as you guys were losing on stage last week, so I think it's not hard for you to hold back on that. Yeah.
Personally, you're a great guy, dude. But professionally, just smack you down.
Okay. Very good. Anything else that you would say to any of the fans out there? I mean, we kind of already did the interview of around like, oh, people thought you guys could suck, and then you made it to the finals. Like, anything you would say now that you guys are headed off to Worlds?
Huge shout out to coaching staff and our managers and to all 10 players on the League of Legends team. You guys made this happen. You never gave up. You always had a positive attitude, and you deserve this. And I'm super proud of all you guys.
Thank you so much for the interview. Looking forward to seeing how Cloud9 does at Worlds. In the past, you guys have given us hope whenever other teams haven't, so we'll see if the lineup this year can do the same. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things esports right here on my YouTube channel.
Hi everyone, thanks so much for watching my video. This has been sponsored by Omni Slash. Peter charges me $40,000 per interview to do this, so if you want to, please hit up my Patreon and donate or subscribe or whatever, anything helps. I feel like my head feels really big.